Hello fellow cartoon fanatics, this is Kelly back for Cartoon Universe, and today we're going to be talking about the season finale of Star vs. the Forces of Evil Season 3. Guys, I want to say first of all, before we get into the topics I want to talk about, I thought this was the best season of Star vs. the Forces of Evil ever. My reasoning for this is because I feel like it was a lot more mystery and lore based compared to the other seasons, and I really just felt fully engaged in every single episode. It brought up more mysteries of the butterfly family and Star's lineage in general, and I really just feel like it felt so just put together and just a whole awesome, satisfying season. So what did you guys think of the season as a whole? Did you feel engaged? Because I did in almost every episode, and that's what made the season so good and so exciting. So today I want to talk about 4 different topics that'll help us predict what we could see happening in Season 4. So the first topic I want to talk about is the overall theme and arc of the season, and what that foreshadows for Season 4. Next, I want to talk about the villains in the season and where we see them going. Third, I want to talk about Star herself and her powers, and one really big thing that was brought up in the season that I kind of have my own theory on. And lastly, I would like to talk about all of the other characters and what we see them doing in Season 4. So let's get right into it. Something that I thought was really cool about this season was that it had an overall theme and message, and that's something that I'm not quite so sure was apparent in the other seasons, but the overall theme of this season was equality between humans and monsters, and this is ultimately the message that I think the show as a whole is going to end up going in whenever it ends. And we really saw in this show Star fighting for the first time for something that she personally believed in that was unique to her. And in my opinion, Star took her first step towards becoming her own little queen this season. She had her own battle she wanted to fight, she had something she believed in. Marco was by her side the whole time and was really supportive of her cause, which I thought was really, really sweet. And I just feel that this was the first time we saw Star start to be her own version of, you know, her own version of royalty. She wasn't doing anything that anyone else told her to do. The equality between humans and monsters was her own belief, and I think that this theme is going to be explored a lot more in Season 4. Like the Monster Bash episode, Star really tried, and unfortunately her efforts failed because all the monsters left. Buff Frog. We'll see him again, guys. We'll see him again. But I think that it is not the end of this subject being brought into light, and I do see the monsters coming back in the future. So we have to kind of commend Star for all she did to fight for something she believed in. I thought it was really brave, really mature for her, and huge character development. Next I want to talk about the villains. So the main villain of the season was obviously Eclipsa and ultimately Meteora, which was the huge twist of the season. And Eclipsa is so interesting to me, and I want to tell you guys why. First of all, she's one of those examples of the whole is she good, is she evil type of villain, which makes her very mysterious, and also the complete opposite of Toffee, who was terrifying in my opinion. But Eclipsa is really interesting because we don't really know what to believe. And to be honest with you guys, after the season finale, I'm not really convinced she's evil. She has a chance to start over and be with her family again. Meteora is a baby. We don't know why, but she is. And we definitely see Eclipsa reuniting with her husband, Globgor, best name ever, by the way. So I don't know. I just really felt that this was a character who just really wanted her family back. And we saw many emotional moments through this season that made us feel that way. Now, I could be totally wrong and totally blindsided come Season 4. And if that ends up happening, to be honest, I'm okay with that, because I like when these cartoons surprise me. But for right now, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like Eclipsa's character. I find her interesting. I thought she was kind of even charming in certain scenes. And ultimately, I'm not saying I'm like a huge Eclipsa fan, but I'm on board with her being important. There's one other point I want to bring up as to why Eclipsa is so important. This is because she serves as the connection between humans and monsters. I mean, think about it. Compared to everyone else in Mewni, we can't really say that Eclipsa is really a monster hater, considering she was madly in love with one. So I predict, even though Eclipsa seems to have gone away for now, I predict her coming back in the future and being a big part of the show when it comes to equality between humans and monsters. Now, does that mean she's going to be an ally to Star? Potentially, but who really knows? We still don't know what to think about Globgor yet. We have no idea about him. He could be insanely evil. We don't know. But I do think recognizing the significance that Eclipsa has to this one specific topic is really important to think about, and I think she's going to come back in the future because of that. Next, I want to talk about Star's powers. Star has made so much progress this season. She's mastered her butterfly form. She got in an epic battle with Meteora, which was awesome at the end of the season. She is really growing, but I really want to talk about that butterfly form, especially its connection to the one other character that has it in the show, Moon. Now, as far as we know, Star and Moon are the only characters that have access to this insane butterfly goddess form, and it seems like it's something that they train themselves to master over time, which Star has finally learned, which is so awesome. I'm proud of her. But what does this form ultimately mean? My theory, and what I really wanted to talk about, was I think it has a direct connection to the realm of magic, which we were introduced to in this season. So Star starts opening portals in her sleep, and every time she does it, she's in this magical butterfly form. And it was not by choice at first. And where does she ultimately end up? In the realm of magic. And when she's there, she feels like she's home. Even the unicorns welcome her. They're all excited. They're like, "You're home, you're home." And she doesn't really want to leave. She kind of has to be pulled out of it. So where do we see this happen again in the season? After Moon's battle with Meteora, and Moon basically gets destroyed almost, what does she do? She immediately opens a portal and goes right to the realm of magic. By choice? Potentially, we don't know for sure, but she basically escapes there as if it's a safe zone. So what does this realm of magic mean to these butterfly forms? I think that for some reason, the realm of magic is part of the history or the ancestry of Moon and Star themselves. I don't think Star's father is related to this. I think this is just in Moon's blood and was passed down to Star, and these forms are connected to that realm. One thing about the realm of magic that I liked and also found kind of unsettling was the way that it changes the mindset of Star and Moon. What I liked about it was that it was kind of cute to see them as mother and daughter kind of just exploring this really interesting, beautiful, magical place together, away from all their royal duties. It was nice to see them just hanging out together and kind of seeing Moon be all wide-eyed and amazed by things. But it also like made their minds in like a constant state of wonderment and euphoria, but also confusion and loss of their identities. And to me, that doesn't sound like a very good thing. That sounds kind of creepy, so I don't really know. But I just think the realm of magic is very important. And one other thing I want to bring up is that unicorn that Star created. Do not forget about that unicorn. I think that unicorn holds huge significance. I mean, the realm of magic seems like a fun, beautiful place. I mean, I'd go hang out there for a day. I mean, look at those baby unicorns. I can't even deal with the cuteness. But the one unicorn that told Star and Moon, "Oh, you're not supposed to be there," and banished them away, what was that about? Because when Star first went there, she was welcomed with open hooves by these unicorns, so how come now they're all of a sudden not allowed there? That is confusing. So I'm excited to learn more about the realm of magic. I think it's a really big deal to Star and the butterfly family's history in general. The last thing I want to talk about is the other characters. I feel like all of the characters were resolved by the end of the season, so fleshed out, particularly the relationship between Star, Tom, and Marco. Now, there was a Starco moment that happened, so I kind of predict that being a thing in season 4 for sure. But also, Tom kind of made amends with Marco, and they're kind of cool with each other. I don't know if they're going to be cool with each other if Marco and Star start dating, but at the same time, I feel like the three of them have kind of come to a mutual understanding that they're all friends first. And I think that's so important, especially considered that this show is aimed towards young teens. There was also an interesting moment where I feel that Marco had kind of an epiphany and realized that maybe he does have a crush on Star, and maybe the whole Jackie thing was just his way of running away from it. And I thought that was a really cool little moment, because we've all been there, guys. We've all had crushes when we were young teens, and we were like, is this a crush? I don't know how to feel about this. Just those confused preteen, young teen feelings. I thought it was cool to see Marco start going through that. It felt really real, and it felt really kind of rewarding to see him growing as a character and discovering his potential feelings for Star. I feel like all of the characters really came together at the end to fight Meteora, even though Star was trapped in the other realm with her mom. It was cool to see them all kind of battle and all be almost equally as important as the more magical characters. So what I predict for season 4 is a potential Star and Tom breakup, potential start of a relationship between Star and Marco, and maybe learning even more about Star's friends because I love how they're growing as characters. So what did you guys think about the finale? Did you love the epic battle between Star and Meteora? Are you excited to see more about Star's powers? What do you think of the realm of magic? So comment below and let's have a discussion because it was a really awesome season and I cannot wait for season 4, guys. So once again, it was nice talking to you again today on Cartoon Universe and have a great day. One more thing. Glossaryck. Really? Really, man? You couldn't just say, oh, the whole reason that the only thing I said all season was Globgor wasn't because I physically couldn't speak, but because Globgor is the name of Eclipsa's monster lover and I was trying to warn you. You couldn't say that sentence? Come on, Glossaryck, come on. You're all thinking the same thing, guys. Well, guess we'll just have to wait to see more from him in season 4.